everyone, and welcome to the Bearded Geeks, the weekly grab bag of topics covering movies, comics, video games, and TV. Oh, fuck that. My name is Jags. I'm the Beard Master. With me today is Bobby Baxter, Patrick Brown.
Hey. How are you?
Hey. What are we doing today, Pat?
We are watching Terminator GENISYS.
Because...
this is basically a piss take on me. This whole episode will be a piss take on me.
Massive piss take. It's not officially just a Terminator Genisys show. It's just going to be a Terminator franchise show while we watch Terminator Genisys in the background and we take the piss out of it and Pat. So if you want to follow along with us, we're actually going to watch the movie. So I'm going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, and we're off.
Off to the races.
Off to the races.
What's happening?
Do you reckon Arnold gambles much? Do you reckon steroids are definitely a gamble, though?
Yeah. I don't know.
I reckon he's had his fair share of steroids. I don't know. Who knows?
Patrick Brown, can we start from the top?
Mm-hmm.
You paid to see this movie.
Oh, well, I was so excited when it was all
I paid for us
happening.
to watch this movie now. I spent like $12 on this, so
Yeah.
I watch it.
I mean, weren't you excited before it even came out? Looking forward to it?
Bob, you haven't seen this. This is the first time
I haven't paid a cent for this movie.
The trailers spoiled it all. Like
They did, yeah.
there's one particular element. If they'd left it out, it would have been a great reveal in the movie. But they kind of spoiled it because they showed it in the fucking trailer.
And it's crap anyway. I hate that part of the movie.
You're crap.
We'll get to that, though.
I'll crack this tin. Oh,
Hey.
baby.
But yeah, I was
Cheers.
I was pretty pumped for this before it come out because they were talking it up like, you know, kind of touching on like the best parts of the original ones that we love. Like they were going to try and take it all back to, you know, the roots and all that. So that's why I was getting pretty excited about it.
Back to their roots.
Yeah, you know, like keeping it simple and that.
Genesis.
After all the mess that 3 and Salvation was, they kind of
GENISYS.
took this all back to try and, yeah.
Now, can I just turn your attention? I'm just going to read this out to you.
Mm.
But the back of the cover has a quote, and it says, "You are going to love this movie. James Cameron, director, Terminator 1 and 2. Bobby Baxter, how do you feel about that?
He's not directed this, obviously.
No, but he gave his blessing
Gave
on
a
this
quote.
film. He thought, James Cameron considers, well, before it tanked, he considered Terminator Genisys the true Terminator 3.
Oh, awkward.
Awkward.
Because he doesn't so much now, does he?
Oh, look at that.
That CG there is pretty good. Blowing up San Francisco. Looks pretty good.
Ooh, they're gone. Look at that.
See you later.
It's always the Golden Gate Bridge, eh?
Mm.
Terminator GENISYS system.
Yeah, I was
It's like that Red Letter Media video I sent to you today. The scientist man explains Terminator Genisys. It's like,
that was funny. They're so awkward.
tell me about Terminator Age of Ultron.
Yeah, no, I was so pumped for this before it came out. I thought it was going to be good, and you know.
Well, you did think it was good.
Well,
though,
I'm not going
didn't
to
you?
lie. I'd actually walked out of the cinema, kind of enjoyed it, but then I was very disappointed in the way a lot of things went. But overall, I was like, oh, it's enjoyable. It's a good movie. It's kind of how I got it.
You liked it better than Terminator 1.
You did say that.
That's what I said at the time. Yeah, I take that back. It's probably, I don't know if it's too late, but I do take that back now after you're seeing more of that. But I think that
I feel like we've influenced his love for it.
Yeah,
though. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to take that away from you.
Yeah, I don't want to take it away from you,
I
but
think
you've got...
what I was thinking at
But
the
you
time...
were wrong.
Yeah, I think what I was thinking at the time when I said it was more, I think I saw those, I'm probably just digging more of a hole for myself, hey? But I was thinking more of the time, because the first one's quite old and dated in a way, and I think this one was just, I don't know, just more kind of, everything was, you know, more done well and crisp and all the, you know, it looks good and there's a lot of...
Patrick Brown likes schmick. He
Over-
likes
but
sexy
overall-
schmick, cutting edge, beautiful.
No, but overall the story was where it counts and stuff, so that's where this fell short and was like, they ruined pretty much, they kind of shat on the franchise completely in this. That's how I saw it.
Just like an actual Terminator, this movie has no heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Or brain.
And then that's why I've come to realize. And I was like, okay, yeah, and the
James
first one's
Cameron's maybe on the
better
same
anyway.
level as you. Like, because I'm looking at these scenes now and like, they're real blue like T2 was.
Yeah.
Like, maybe James Cameron just meant, you'll love the look of this movie.
It's funny because
it looks like my movie.
Yes, that's exactly pretty much what it is. Because there was a clip today. I sent it to Pat and that as well. We were watching it, and it's got James Cameron. He's like, I was in the theater, and the lights went down, and the movie started, and I was watching it, and then I started to recognize things. He's like, they're just showing like all scenes that were pretty much recreated from the first film. They recreated in this. Just a side note, have you guys got enough volume? You just a little bit more volume there for you?
I'm okay.
I have to push mine in a bit to hear it. That's all right though.
That's right.
That's
I might just give it just one more because I'm wearing headphones over headphones.
Yep.
There we go. That's as high as we're going. So there have been, let's see, 5 Terminator films with a 6th one coming out this November.
Whoop, I've lost my headphones.
If you think back to 3 and the ones that didn't work so well, it's like I was looking at a few clips today, just kind of a run through of those movies to get a refresher, and even just by watching clips, it just comes through so clear why they failed. Like they just don't. It's just a mess. Like they didn't. I hated the casting as well of 3. I really hated the casting of John Connor. I thought,
oh, Nick Stahl,
because he's basically
he was pretty wet,
an adult at that point, and he's supposed to be what, early 20s or something. Is that right? Because I thought by then from him, he's basically an adult, and then you go to Christian Bale in the next one. It's like they're not, the kid is like basically a man, and then compare him next to Christian Bale, and he's probably like half the size. And it was just a real mess. Then you got this guy who's supposed to be the same John Connor, and he's
this
just
is Jason Clarke, Australia's own Jason Clarke,
different looking dude.
And Jai Courtney as well. He's Australian as well. Look at that, 2 Aussies in a Terminator movie.
Yeah,
Aussies and Austrians and Americans and maybe some Armenians as well.
Even the casting of him as John Connor, he looks nothing like that 10-year-old version.
Doesn't matter. Like,
I just wish they'd touch a bit more on those favourite movies. We love Judgment Day.
Looks in that don't really matter. I mean, I like Jason Clarke. I think he's great, but
him, is that Jason Clarke? Sorry, that guy.
Who playing John Connor?
Yeah.
Yeah, come back.
I don't know names as much.
Mate. Come on. But Jai Courtney, he's just. I really liked him in the first Jack Reacher because he barely said anything. But in everything else, he's just so bland.
Yeah.
He's so.
I like movies more that touch, like they
he's so medium.
They match things like pretty close, especially when they do the de-aging or whatever to kind of help tie them all in perfect. Or if it is the same actor, like they got Sarah Connor coming back as herself in the next one coming, which is
Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, Linda Hamilton. I love that. That's a big plus for me. That's why I always wish they would have just done a John Connor that really felt like even the 10-year-old, which I know it's hard to do, but
this is exactly like this video I sent you just before. There's like a T600 or a T800 driving a truck, and I sent you this video of this robot, like Russian-made robot, like the Russians in that built.
I saw that.
But this robot's designed for combat, and it's like, it can fire 2 guns at once, and it can drive a car. And when it's bored, it'll work out. I'm like, what the fuck? This is where it starts.
Look at that.
It'll work out like Arnie.
That looks sick.
All the typical laser sounds. Pew, 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 pew. So what do you think, Bob? How are you liking it so far in the first 5 minutes?
It's definitely something. I don't know. It looks right. Like, the style is pretty nice. But,
it looks like the future. Yeah, definitely.
I'm not feeling any kind of particular attachment to any characters yet.
There you go. That must be the Arnolds.
It all feels a bit like they're just trying to show you all the stuff that you think you like from the earlier ones, but they're not actually. Like, I don't feel connected to anything yet. So maybe it'll come, but it just kind of feels like lots of guns and lasers so far.
Well, the way I felt when I watched it, right, the first time, I'd say the first, I don't know, near half, I was like loving it. I was like, this is brilliant, going the right way. It was great. But then it's probably the last half, they just kind of shit on itself. The directions they take completely is just like, no, don't do that, and you just, that's where the movie just fails, I would say. So I don't know, hopefully you might enjoy the first half and you might start to feel that too. And
that's the thing though, like alright, I'm going to give some credit where credit's due. First Terminator's great. Second Terminator's great. We all know this. Terminator 3 is pretty... Yeah, but I really like the end. I like the twist about how, obviously, Judgment Day actually does happen. I liked Terminator Salvation. I liked the concept because it was the first Terminator film that we'd actually see, like, it was all post-Judgment Day. So, like, Judgment Day had happened. There's no more bloody sending robots back in time. It was all grown-up, adult John Connor. And I kind of liked some of that attachment to that world, even though I didn't like all the... Here's a motorcycle Terminator, and here's another bloody troop transport Terminator machine, but like watching this, it kind of feels like a more expensive Salvation because it's all on green screen. But then you just think back to the beginning of Terminator 2, where it's all practical set. You've got practical Terminators, Stan Winston Terminators coming in, and then you got all the scenes of the guys running through and that, and you've got the HKs, like the actual physical models and stuff, and just like nobody does that anymore because it costs too much. CG's too easy to do.
Did you first look at the time machine there?
Like I was watching.
I think the first two movies succeed so much better as well, is because they're kind of thrillers first and action movies second.
Yeah, they are.
They're very, like the tension is set up from the start. You've got like these strange guys appear out of nowhere, and they basically like start killing people. But they're always like one-on-one encounters for the first half of the movie. It's always like
threatening.
They're going around killing just one person here or there.
Yeah.
And they're looking for something. So you're like, you're intrigued by what they're trying to, why they're trying to find this person.
And the best way it works with especially Judgment Day and the first actually is like they really, like I've said before on other podcasts, how the way some movies fail when they lose that kind of threatening aspect where, like, in Judgment Day, the Terminator barely even touches him. Doesn't even get close enough to stab him. Whereas,
you kind of pointed that out to me as well. It's kind of, he just grabs him and throws him around.
And that's why it works as such a great thriller, because he never actually gets to him. And if he does get close, that's where you're like, holy shit, he's actually it feels threatening. Whereas when the third Terminator come, they're just throwing each other around. Like the Terminator actually gets to John Connor and throws him on the bonnet, and he's just and it's never even, he's just throwing him around like a ragdoll. Can
I point this out too? Like, this is our very first look at the, I wouldn't say de-aged Arnold because it's a body double, and they've just done a young CG Arnold face over the top, which is what they did in Salvation as well. But just that scene, because they recreated the appearance from the first film, and he kind of he walks forward and he kind of overlooks the city. And you're like, he's naked, and like in this movie, they've kind of shadowed out his ass so you can't see his butt crack or anything.
Oh, really?
But in the first movie, they're just like, boom, here's Arnold's ass. And I'm just like, I hate movies that are just scared to do that now to keep the rating down.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just, it's a butt. It's a butt crack. Like, everybody's got one.
Is this overall like a PG-13 movie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, crap. That's probably where it falls short as well, then.
So there'll be one fuck in
the others
this movie.
Definitely aren't.
And half a butt crack.
Yeah, and half a shadowed out butt crack.
Well, that's a bit stupid. Because the others are basically aren't they?
They've used all their PG-13 on that guy's face scar.
Yeah.
That's all the violence you're allowed.
And Jason's like, well, I better send my dad back in time so I'll be born. Or else there'll be some kind of fucking paradox.
John Connor's all scarred up there.
I got nothing against Kyle Reese, Jai Courtney. He was okay Captain Boomerang in Suicide Squad, I guess. Best thing he ever done was Jack Reacher, where he played like the assassin dude who barely said anything. But Michael Biehn's so much better. I mean, I looked up some facts for you guys about Terminator Genisys. Did you know? Hang on, I've got a good one here.
Probably not.
I've got a perler. I'm on the wrong page. I was buying shit before, and that page is still open.
Peek behind the curtain.
A peek behind the curtain of Genisys.
This is where Kyle goes back in time.
Yeah, so we're essentially setting up the first film here.
So this
Kyle
is what
Reese
I love.
has to go back in time to protect Sarah Connor.
This is when, like, you know, I feel like for 20-something years since the others, I really, you know, this was the kind of stuff I wish I saw, like, and you want to know about, like.
I like the mystery and not knowing.
Yeah, but like, you know, I didn't really want it. This wasn't dying to see this, but I'm like, when I was watching this, I was like, I'm so glad to see how it's all. This is the other side of things, you know, seeing how it all happened.
I was thinking about this today. Like, isn't it funny how now we associate the Terminator films with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Of course, absolutely. He's been in every one except for Salvation. You know, it was the CG, whatever. Arnie actually wasn't in that one. But, like, you go back to the first film, and it's essentially just Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor, and they are being chased by the Terminator. I mean, Arnie has, like, 28 lines in that movie or something. Yeah. And it's not really his movie. Sure, he is the Terminator. He is on the poster. But, like, just imagine watching that movie at the time before the whole franchise thing, like, and then we got to T2 obviously, and then Arnie was the main dude. Obviously, they brought him back, but yeah, I was just thinking about that tale. It's just like a little tidbit because
it's actually Linda Hamilton's movies if you think.
Yeah,
about
well, that's exactly right. Yeah,
they're not really Arnold's.
I remember the first time I watched the Terminator because obviously I'd seen Terminator 2 first, and then I went back and watched the Terminator. I just remember at the time watching it, like, this just feels so different because I'm just used to. Already have the Arnie is Terminator franchise, like, preconceptions and whatever in that, you know, in my head, because that's what I've seen before. But, yeah, I just always thought that was an interesting thing and how things change. Did you know that Tom Hardy was the first choice for John Connor in Terminator Genisys?
Wow. Did he turn it down, or...?
Maybe. I don't know. And apparently Christian Bale wasn't available. He was doing another movie, but he probably wouldn't have come back for it anyway. Oh, right. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I think I don't know. Were they... Well, I suppose they are trying to follow it up, aren't they, from that? Salvation. This is a sequel to Salvation, technically, isn't it? They're not forgetting it?
I guess, yeah, but it was meant to be the start of a new franchise.
Yeah, I thought they were trying to refresh things. They were talking it up too, and they're like, after this, they were like, oh, we're going to bring Terminators back. We're going to bring all these movies in. That's what I remember. Yeah, I could see Tom Hardy as John Connor, definitely.
Let's be honest, you can see Tom Hardy as pretty much anything, though.
Have you seen what a young Tom Hardy looks like? Went back when he was skinny, like way back in the 90s.
I remember you showed me that video. He was on some game show or dating show or some shit like that.
So if you look at him there, I could kind of see that as the 10-year-old John Connor grown up a bit more because he was kind of like that. And now he's like the Tom Hardy that's big. You know, I could see that working. Same kind of look. So weird for me.
The time machine.
What is it? The time displacement field? Am I getting that correct?
There's the big orb.
And Arnie and that, they always...
that lady, she's the only one in the crowd, that lady there, shielding her eyes, probably because there's just way too much penis flapping around.
Yeah, maybe.
There you go.
The time machine.
This is where it starts to get like, oh, crap, this is stupid.
Well, that was quick.
only that's part of the storyline that I hate, though. That bit you just saw. It's bloody weird for me hearing this because I'll admit I have the soundtrack in my my work playlist on Spotify. So all this music I listen to while I work.
I think they had to do. I was looking up about it today, and just all these little things I never noticed because I think there it is, Genisys. No way! I can't believe you got me an iPad.
Yeah, this is crap.
Look at it. It's an iPad. Oh wow.
Oh my lord! What is this?
This is the side of it
They've pre-installed it, ready to go.
Was that Will Byers from
Was it? I don't know. I ain't rewinding it. So we'll just have to speculate.
I don't know if it was Tobias kid or a different one, but I think there was a kid from Stranger Things in there.
So Skynet's now like...
Isn't that fucked? Like right in the first 15, 20 minutes, they're already like, Genesis is Skynet.
And they're like,
that's crazy.
And they're like, Skynet, or whatever that was, Genesis is Facebook now. It's like fucking digital shit.
What was the countdown thing on his app too?
That was counting down to when Genesis went live.
Basically like a new Facebook thing. Like
how pissed off would that little kid really be in real life?
Yeah.
If he gets a birthday present and it says he's not allowed to use it for another 2.5 days.
There you go. This is like the originals. Yeah.
You imagine giving Mason an app, an iPad with a timer on it. It said,
I know.
Unwrap it. And
no one does that.
Oh, you can use it in 2 days.
Getting hyped for a fucking... Yeah.
You can use this in 3 days.
He would throw the shit on the floor and chuck a tantrum.
I know. I want it now.
And it is interesting there how they had to kind of tie that together. I guess because, I don't know, do the Terminators weigh so much that they don't get raised up in the field? But he was human and I guess lighter and he was raised up in the field and that's why he dropped so far. No Bill Paxton, though. I always loved that Bill Paxton was one of the... Fuck you, drink loud.
What?
All I hear is... Glug, 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 glug.
Yeah, I hit the thing there.
Oh, look at the eyebrows on that. Jesus.
See, the face still looks a bit
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah,
that's pretty Uncanny Valley, but I guess they get a pass because he's a robot, so he's not...
True.
Fuck you, asshole. There's the one fuck, I guess.
It's a pretty good attempt, actually, this. I usually really cringe at when they
then you got the
de-age or CG characters.
He's like, I've been waiting for you. This is pretty cool, though, this bit.
Can I just point out one thing? If they were waiting for this Terminator to show up, why did he just rock up with a shotgun?
Yeah.
If they knew he was coming, why wasn't he sitting like by the sidelines with an RPG?
Or get a bloody truck full of that, what's that cold ice shit that's in the back and the freezing.
Yeah, just have it.
Oh, okay. I forgot this bit because she has the sniper rifle. If they knew they were coming for 20 odd years, why is he late? Why are they late?
He's already ripped half his face off.
Look at that. Take that.
There's a big
first movie will never happen.
Big throwback there.
That looked pretty good though.
Yeah, that looks sick.
Arnold didn't dye his hair at all for this movie, and apparently he worked out for 6 months, and he got to his exact physical weight and measurements that he was in Terminator 3. I think it's 3. I recall when it came out, like in press, he said, I was the same size as I was in Terminator 2.
He's
dedicated. But I don't know if that's true or not. It might be 3. Yeah, see, she did turn up with something, but she was just very slow.
Bloody slow off the mark.
Yeah, why wasn't she just up on the roof waiting?
There you go.
You are terminated.
First movie doesn't happen now.
Oh, I don't like that.
That's called fucking with the timeline.
Now they're like, let's fuck shit up.
Get it? Because he puts his thumb up at the end of the second one. Get it?
God. I don't like the idea of the older dude.
I do love this bit, because I always love this scene in the first film where he breaks into the convenience store, not the convenience store, the shopping store, and he gets like the shoes and the jacket and stuff. I do kind of like the recreation of that scene. I'm only saying that though because I like that scene in the first movie, but as an Admiral recreation, I think they did a great job.
How come? Just I'll wait till it pops up, I suppose. Yeah. So why isn't he Patrick Stewart in this? Like the young version of him.
You know, that's probably a good question.
Because I always wondered that.
No, because that would have just given it away. Because people have to wait that 10 seconds to go, he's a real cop. No, wait, he's a T-1000.
Yeah, just I don't get why he's not the same policeman from the first one who was Patrick Stewart in the...
Well, that would... Patrick Stewart.
Is that his name? Patrick Stewart? No, Patrick...
Make it so.
Patrick what? What's his name? Patrick...
Keep going, I'll give you a few chances.
Oh, I forgot his name.
3 strikes.
I've forgotten, to be honest. It's not Patrick.
I like this.
He was saying that all along, and I'm sitting here
I know
going,
who Patrick
I don't
Stewart is
fucking
now,
remember
though.
Patrick Stewart in that movie.
His name's Patrick, but I can't remember his last name.
Even this scene, I think, where he puts the shoes and that on, looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Just because it's like exactly the same as the first film. I do like the first film. Pat, why did you say you like this one better than the first film?
No,
I will
I said,
hold this against you forever.
Yeah, no, I'll take that back now.
Do you want to have one more guess?
Patrick.
Okay, I'm going to tell you.
It's an S, though, isn't it? It's Patrick
I'm going to give you a hint. It's both of your first names. Which order does it go in?
Oh, Robert Patrick.
Hey, got it.
Is his last name Patrick?
Yeah.
Far out. That's weird.
That's weird. It's only weird because your name's... Imagine if your name was Patrick.
I've never ever heard Patrick as a last name. I just remember that now.
Jason Patrick.
There's lots of Patricks with,
Last names?
Yeah.
Robert
Really?
Patrick.
Never ever heard it in my life. Well, apart from Robert Patrick.
There's much less with Bobby as a last name, but unless you got Ricky Bobby.
2 first names.
Yeah, I don't get why he's a different...
Throwback to Terminator 2 there. He looks at the silver mannequin.
Oh, because he's like freaked out of it. That's pretty cool there.
It's coming out of the goddamn mirror. That actually looked pretty good. Whoa.
This guy does a pretty good impression of this character.
He's got the same vibe.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just going to do exactly what he did.
Dead face.
Even the way he walked when he came out of the mirror, it was fucking near identical. It was like the walking out of the flames in Terminator 2. It was that kind of that robot-y.
A machine that kills humans.
That's the future, mate.
Why does he say humans and not people?
Because he's a person robot.
Because he's from the future. There's no people in the future. Only
humans and robots. Humans and robots. The machines.
This bit I thought was a bit stupid too. I was like, it's like like that bit there.
Oh no.
I'm like,
Daenerys.
I'm like, nah. I cannot see her as Sarah Connor. Sorry, I never could. She does not have the same look, face, or anything.
I just think it's just...
She's a good actress. I love everything she does.
You know, anyone can do anything. I just don't really think she has the weight or the heft and that Linda Hamilton brought. Because in Terminator 2, you really believed like that transformation she went through. Yeah. Because in the first film, she's essentially just like a 19-year-old waitress who likes to go out, you know, try to meet boys or whatever and dance with her best girlfriend or whatever. And then the transformation into Terminator 2, like, you know, there was legit reasons for that, you know. She tried to shack up with guys who, you know, she could learn anything off. And you believe that. And she knows what's coming, so she's getting ready for it.
Well, this here, I think the main problem with her casting is she's...
Big expedition
got the
dump here.
I think she's got a very Disney kind of face, you know, like a princess, Disney princess face.
Yeah, very Disney princess.
So she's very softish, whereas Linda Hamilton's, especially when she grew into the role of Sarah Connor too, she was very a lot more edgier and just general. Whereas I don't think she could ever. She's just
pushing it here a bit, boys.
That's all right.
Is that all right?
Yep. I'll just hang it a bit further out.
Do you want actual headphones?
Nah, it's all right. In the scone.
Got him.
Yeah, this is all kinds of weird with her.
Because she's still supposed to be a party girl.
I forgot that she was in this.
Yeah, essentially she's only meant to be, 19, 20 here?
And not even know what's going on. But yeah, there's a reason behind it all, which I never liked that kind of side of it either. I was like, what the hell's going on?
That sounds like something my uncle would say. That is a very immature response.
Your Austrian uncle.
I've got heaps of them.
Another peek behind the curtain. I'm sitting here holding a little headphone hub on my leg that's attached to everybody else's ears. And every time that I move, it like pulls the earbud out of somebody else. It's like a little like Spider-Man contraption in the middle of the room that spider webs out to everyone's ear.
Don't tell everyone our secrets. We have a very state-of-the-art Skynet setup.
Spider gadgets.
How would it be, though, to like grow up and know that this guy's going to turn up one day and that you have to mate with him as your robot or cyborg protector would tell you, and be like, you're going to create the future hope of humanity after the nukes drop. You're like, wow, that's like a lot of responsibility and a lot of dump on like an 8-year-old. The Ramones. We can't play it because we'll get kicked off YouTube. But it's I Want to Be Sedated. See, he doesn't know what a T-1000 is yet.
Pops.
Oh, no.
That's a throwback to the cut smiling scene from Terminator 2.
Yeah,
it doesn't work there at all.
And I hate it when they put the little robot on there, like when he makes a smile. Like, yeah, come on.
Yeah, it did make sense.
Yeah, wouldn't he be squeaking and weaking every sentence that he ever said?
Because it's tissue, it's not bloody metal, like gears rising up his cheeks.
Can I say, like, I don't completely hate Emilia Clarke as Sarah Connor. I don't.
Don't you?
Yeah, I think she's okay. Okay.
Even him as Kyle Reese, like...
Oh, yeah, he's terrible.
I can't see Kyle Reese at all in him. Same with John Connor's the worst casting, because I do not see him as... Oh, well... Actually, if you think about it, he does. If you look back at the first one, he looks like the old. You only get like a glimpse of the old John Connor. He kind of looks like that, I suppose. But even that guy was pretty scrawny.
Did you know that Margot Robbie and Brie Larson both came very close to playing Sarah Connor in this movie? But I assume it went to Emilia Clarke because of her Game of Thrones popularity. I assume. Because if they went to make this movie today, I'm sure Margot Robbie would get it over.
I don't see either of them either as Margot Robbie.
I'd probably see a Brie Larson.
Yeah, probably Brie would be good, but Margot Robbie's still the same. She's got that kind of that too soft kind of or Disney kind of vibe out of us.
I would never write anyone off for anything though, because you'd be surprised, like how many roles in that you see, like. We were talking about Nightcrawler just before you got here. Like, to see, like, Jake Gyllenhaal as, like, a gaunt, creepy, almost, like, serial killer kind of guy. Like, you'd never really picture that, like, just off the top of your head. But, you're like, oh, let's just look at that. The guy can do anything.
Actually, then again, Margot Robbie, did you watch that, is it I, Tonya movie?
No, I haven't seen it, no.
I saw that, and she really transformed herself into that to look kind of, like, ugly. That's how she was trying to portray herself as a... Well, not ugly, just more, just a normal, average, very bogan as well. She's supposed to be a bogan. That's what she's supposed to be in the movie, a real bogan. She's got a real mouth on her.
Bogan, trash, white trash.
Yeah, white trash.
Not exactly white trash.
And she really
was this like an Aussie movie?
I know it was
remember.
About Tonya Harding, about the 96 Olympic figure skating or whatever.
Okay.
It was actually a really good movie, and she she really transformed herself a bit more. Kind of reminded me of how... Charlize Theron did that one when she transformed herself to be kind of monster. Yeah. It was like that, to that level.
That was still like great transformation into a character in that film.
Yeah.
The way she kind of like holds her kind of lips open all the time, showing her teeth, that's fucked.
Mm.
Boom,
Got him.
grenade launcher. Reload. If that was me in a video game, I would have reloaded already.
Yeah, exactly.
Constant reloading, very important.
Is there still like a little hook hanging onto the car or something? Like the other movie?
No, it was the
they had something.
It was
else
the hinge.
The latch,
it was the
yeah.
hinge, and he shot the hinge off.
Yeah.
With his shotgun.
Oh, here's another little throwback to the original.
Yeah, another little throwback to Terminator. There's so much nostalgia in this movie.
That's what they were trying to
Bobby
do.
Baxter.
Yeah.
They've already ruined it.
If I want nostalgia, I'll just go and watch the first one.
They'll always be there.
That's what I think about nostalgia and Hollywood trying to sell me nostalgia.
I wonder
if
what
I want it, I'll just go watch the old stuff.
Yeah, just re-release the old stuff. Give me a 4K copy of the Terminator. I'll go watch that.
What are they going to do with the new one? Hey, this year, is it coming out this year?
November, beginning of November, I believe.
I wonder what they're going to do there. Like looks.
So is this
looks
James
so
Cameron
different.
this time?
Apparently, isn't it?
Or is
The
he
story
just
was that Paramount was, I believe, it's Paramount, isn't it? Let me look at the cover. Yeah, it's Paramount. Paramount would plan to make this film and a new trilogy because the rights to Terminator reverted back to James Cameron in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So they tried to kick off this franchise. Obviously, it didn't work. They tried to retool it. Cameron's actually coming on as producer, and I think he handpicked Tim Miller. Tim Miller had it, like, who directed the first Deadpool. He had a great pitch for a Terminator film, which he really liked. So he developed it with him. But after GENISYS kind of failed, Cameron did say that he was going to make one more Terminator film, but that would conclude the franchise. So that would be it. But now they've had a change of heart. So this new one that's coming out is they're trying to set up a new trilogy, obviously. Always thinking about the future. Not worrying about making one great film.
Just, yeah.
We've got to make this one and be ready for the next one.
Try and monetize this for as long as possible.
Mm. Now, this is kind of interesting. Bit of liquid metal into the half-blown-up Terminator.
Yeah, what's that going to repair it a bit or something?
Kind of gets him back going. Now we're going to blow his flesh off.
They would have done that to save a bit of CGI there.
That's better.
That's what they did in Salvation, yeah. Just get rid of the flesh.
It's pretty disappointing. I think in this movie, there's not a single practical Terminator effect in this movie at all.
Oh, really?
It's all CG. Look out.
So I wonder
it's
if they
been
do
mostly pretty slick.
I can't remember if I can't remember these bits much, but I'm trying to think of that thing here. Whereas you're going to start throwing him around like a ragdoll for no reason, or is he actually still got that threat?
Oh, here we go. I always saw it, but I never picked up on it until you mentioned it. And now every time I watch a movie and somebody like super strong will pick someone up and they'll just throw him to the other side of the room.
It's like he could have killed him right there.
They could have just picked him up.
Could have ripped his throat out right then.
Crushed his neck. But now I'm just like, fuck, it's the Patrick Brown effect. Yeah, he just picks him up and throws him around. He's like,
it's so true though, isn't it? Like,
it is true.
It's everywhere.
Got him. Blew his head off.
Oh, popped him.
Spoilers.
That was surprisingly easy compared to
other
he did have a 50 caliber rifle though, so.
But how many of them do you have?
Big 50 cal sniper thing that.
But how often do you have one of them lying around? It's like
way too set up.
Way too set up.
Why does everyone have to wear leather?
See, in the originals, they had to go to a fucking
stylish.
Yeah.
To a factory
it is the 80s.
meal.
This is the 80s.
It is the 80s.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pat.
Lots of style.
Oh, what's that? Acid. Oh, yeah, this is the trap, isn't it?
It's a xenomorph. It's the crossover. It's finally happened.
Alien vs Predator versus Terminator
versus RoboCop versus Rambo.
I think this is her room. She set up traps.
Rambo's
versus Captain Australia
situation.
Terminator versus Captain Australia. I'd watch that movie.
You want a tinny, mate?
And he's trying to bomb a few darts off him.
Got a bottle opener? And he just like flips up his thumb. Dunk.
It kind of does look like she
Opens it. Dun 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 dun.
It's him, yeah.
Uh-oh.
So here's another throwback to the originals.
If I had that jacket, I would probably wear it all the time.
So
Because it's just the jacket. No, I wouldn't, actually. Now that I see it. Oh, that's right. Jai Courtney was in Live Free or Die Hard as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say that before, yeah.
Die Hard movie.
He was John McClane's son.
The least Die Hard movie.
She just guessed there.
He's going to do the finger. No. Where are my dragons?
Shoot the acid.
Where do you get acid from?
Wherever that place
Can you
is.
make acid? I don't know.
Walter White would sort you out.
Well, Arnold would know. He'd be pre-programmed with all this stuff. He'd know how to, like,
Jesus.
whoa. I've got you now.
Yeah, what
Time
are
for
they
the
actually
shower.
even doing under an acid factory? Like, that's pretty... Where are these guys at the moment?
They're in a sewer. And they
Just
set
happen to
up
be
this
under-
trap.
So there's another reference there. There's like the faces are
Oh,
changing.
so this acid is their trap.
Their trap,
they're
yeah.
making. They're not just
Yeah.
sitting under some...
Why does the acid melt the T-1000? Okay.
Yeah,
But how did they know that there was going to be a T-1000 sent back in time as well? Because in the first Terminator, obviously, they only sent back a T-800. So
Yeah.
why did they set up the acid? Because obviously it just melted his skin off. Oh, well, I guess it's melting this one as well. Maybe it would take so much more. I don't know. I'm trying to pull apart the movie, but it keeps answering all my questions.
Well, that link you sent me before that video, they really proved a lot of points in that.
Yeah.
A lot of points in that. I was like, holy crap, it's a mess. Like the timeline, everything's a mess. And what they've done here.
There's one practical Terminator effect.
They have never seemed so all that surprised by that liquid metal Terminator this whole movie either. Like it feels because in T2 that when
it's a shock.
That's
it's
massive shock, yeah.
And it's almost that's another way it plays up on that thriller and like almost horror kind of thing. It's like holy crap, what is this thing?
Yeah,
and it's more of a shock, whereas this is just like there's a dude there who can turn into liquid, and it's just.
But we've already seen that in the 90s. But you guys haven't fucking seen that yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's funny because he literally just time traveled like 2 hours earlier, an hour earlier. Now he's like, I'm going to time travel again?
If you remember Linda Hamilton's reactions as well in the T2 and that when she sees it, all that kind of stuff, it's like the shock on her face. She didn't do anything like that here. Like there was no reaction really. And
because it never happened to her, essentially.
Yeah.
So the first movie never happened, so she never went through that experience. So like when the Terminator shows up in T2 at Pescadero, she doesn't get that initial shock of seeing the same Terminator again.
And she's a much stronger, like, capable version of herself by then. And
Yeah,
she's way
exactly.
more freaked out.
Exactly.
And still.
And she's trying to get her son away in the cop car and that, and then this thing's chasing him. She was like real freaking out.
Shit house, turn it off.
Put T2 on. Remember when we watched Terminator 2 in 3D at the cinema?
Oh, that was amazing.
That was amazing. That was really good. Oh, here's a funny tidbit you'll love. This isn't about Genisys, but this is about the new Terminator film I learned today. There is a child actor, young gentleman, to play. He is going to be the body double for young John Connor, and they're going to CG young Edward Furlong over his face.
Yes, I love
Look
that.
how excited he is
See,
about it.
I love that kind of stuff because I want it to all tie in perfectly. Seamless.
And what happens if it turns out to be a shit movie? Do we forget about that one too?
Yeah, we're
going to have to.
Let's just write off the Terminator
I'll be
series.
so disappointed if I leave the cinema like that. But I got high hopes.
Seeing as we're talking about Sarah Connor, I've watched it, but have either of you guys watched the Terminator TV series, the Sarah Connor Chronicles?
I saw little bits and pieces.
I think I tried once, but never got there.
Or Lena Headey, for anyone who doesn't know, Cersei Lannister, if you watch Game of Thrones, played Sarah Connor. She was really fucking good in that show.
Yeah.
But
what I saw of her, it was really good. Yeah.
It was really good.
I only caught them like on TV when they were kind of. I never watched the whole series kind of thing, but I caught a few episodes.
Yeah, a couple episodes here and there. But as Patrick Brown likes to mention, let's go back to Terminator 2. Edward Furlong's pretty much just a normal kid, except he's got that moppy, greasy, long 90s haircut. Mm-hmm. In the Sarah Connor Chronicles, the John Connor in that show is typical Los Angeles, beautiful...
Clean cut,
Hollywood kid. Like, you just come out of, like, a factory.
I can't even remember what he would look like.
Mm-hmm. So, Pat pointed this out to me, too. We're watching a movie and it's meant to be about regular guy who works at a takeaway shop. And you're like, why are they all so good looking? That's not normal. They wouldn't be so good looking.
Yeah.
When I went to high school, none of these people were that good looking.
No.
I remember you making that comment before, Bob. Like, even the least good-looking person on the movie or whatever we were watching, and the most good-looking person that you went to school with, they didn't even come close.
No.
You'll probably find a lot of movies that you like more are the ones where they're way more realistic and they've cast more kind of regular-looking people and that, you know.
Which is a newer trend that's happening as well.
Yeah.
I love that when, Stranger Things came out and you look at those kids. Like, they're all fucking weird looking.
Yeah.
They're not beautiful little perfect kids.
It's great. It's like...
Yeah. What's his name? Dustin with the teeth? Like he's...
And did you remember most people's favourite character in Stranger Things was Barb, and she was like one of the most regular looking,
Oh yeah, justice for Barb.
Yeah, everyone loved Barb, and she was like a real
Press F to pay respects.
Nerdy kind of, real... Just normal. She wasn't this like skinny, stunning, whatever that you see everywhere.
Yeah, she wasn't like
Hollywood movies.
Like the beautiful actress who ever played Nancy Byers was. She was just a regular looking person.
Even her,
but they made
she
it,
was not
like,
classically...
They made it down as well, though.
Even Nancy wasn't like classically TV beautiful,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
She's really good looking, but
she's pretty. She's good looking, but she's not like
real world good looking.
Yeah,
90210.
Making it 80s helped as well. They could really
whatever.
frizz up their hair and that or whatever. And
yeah.
And now they're getting naked so they can go through the time displacement field. Naked. So there have been like three different actresses to play Sarah Connor. There have been 3 that played Kyle Reese. There have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 to play John Connor. I think John's had the most.
There's been a lot. And they're all completely different.
But there's only one Arnold, except when they get bloody the dude in Salvation and they just CG Arnie's face over the top.
So you've probably still been wondering, Bob, why bloody Sarah Connor's not like she is in the first movie and why she's already got a Terminator friend called Papa and all that. Have you been wondering all that already? Or cause you probably can't hear the story so much, can you?
Yeah, a part of it is we're talking, but also it does feel a bit like I'm missing a bit of info.
Well, they explain it soon, but basically Arnie went back to her.
Spoiler alert!
Oh yeah. Oh, you'll find out soon anyway.
This guy is the worst for spoilers. He's fucking terrible. Don't hang out with Patrick Brown.
I was just trying to clear it up for you.
hashtag don't hang out with Patrick Brown.
All right, I'll leave.
When Westworld came out, I just moved to Tasmania and everyone was talking about it and stuff, and I'm like, I didn't have any internet set up or anything, so I was like, I'm
You're out of the loop for a bit.
I'm out of the loop. I'm stayed underground with it all. And when my Netflix is on, not Netflix, but internet's back on, I'll be able to watch it. And I stay the first few days at Pat's house when I moved to Tassie. And he goes, "Oh, have you watched this Westworld?" And then instead of just putting it on, he sat there for about 40 minutes and told me what happened in the entire first 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocking like that. I was so excited about it too.
And I was like,
That's what I do when I get excited. I just babble. And
the biggest reveal of like the first episode you told me in like seconds. And I was like, no.
Damn. I forgot about that.
He's shocking.
I am.
It's funny here because they're fucking up the timeline massively, so he's sent back, but the timeline's changed, and now they're going to go into the future, and they're like, oh, this time travel stuff makes my head hurt, and Arnie just walks in, he's like, alternate timelines are not complicated. It's just like, yes, it is, Arnold, because you're making it unnecessarily complicated.
Yeah.
What's your problem with mate?
It's a pretty good looking time displacement field, I must say.
Ooh, deep, Arnie. Deep. Oh, the downward look on Sin Little.
Arnie's going to go a long way.
I think Arnie is
Arnie's talking about his long way, and he's throwing out the little lines too.
Yeah. He's going to grow old gracefully. What about his arm? Is that going to grow back?
That's the point. That's why he said he can't go. He's like, my flesh will take years to grow back, and he said, also, I can't go because of this.
They're going to mate.
That's the ultimate, yes, they're eventually going to have to mate, or they'll just...
But the thing is that...
If they don't mate, they'll fuck everything, and that's a paradox.
Do you know the one thing that I didn't really think of? Is unless they had sex at the exact same moment in time with the same little bit of sperm, then that's not John Connor. It's not
a different child.
It's a different kid. He could be a little blonde kid, or I don't know, anything. He could be
could have
a
twins.
girl, could be a girl, could be triplets.
Could be twins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, imagine after all this work, they get to
I know.
the day of the birth, and it comes out. It's just like some other kid.
Yeah.
It's a girl. Dun 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 dun.
And you know, everything was counting on that one little bit of
countdown to Genesis. We're now in 2017 when this movie came out in 2015.
Yeah, flash forward now.
Ooh, deep in the future.
So deep in the
Cop
future.
cars don't look like that.
They do in 2017, man.
Yeah, this is the future.
See how they've trying to do something a bit more like, let's play up on this.
Why are these people
Let's make
naked
it
in
bigger.
the street?
They just killed themselves straight away.
Oh,
Roadkill.
They're both so naked.
Just giving birth in the street. Look at the shadows.
yeah.
They're perfectly aligned over, like...
Nothing ever goes to plan. There's always an obstacle in the way. Obviously, that's how plots work. But
Arnie's found them.
they never just rock up and it's just easy.
He still looks the same. Bit of grey hair.
Why is his robot hair getting grey?
Because he ages. He says that in
That's how they
T2.
explained it. Yeah, they're like, you know, his skin ages, but the robot stays the same underneath.
Okay.
Because he's all organic above.
Could have just got plugs.
It'd be funny. I'd love to do see a like 90-year-old Terminator walking around, this old fart just walking around.
He's got a walker. He's like,
his frame is like still the same frame underneath, so he's like fucking
jacked,
but just wrinkly as shit. He will just look like Arnie when he's 90.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
And massive ears.
Yeah.
Like old people's ears.
Be like 120 and he's like his face would be drooping and hanging off. He's still walking around.
So you're missing it here, Bob. What actually happened was they sent a T-1000 back in time to kill Sarah Connor when she was 9 years old in 1973.
Mm-hmm.
But then they sent Arnie back to protect her. He saved her, which he did, but her parents were killed, so he took her under his robo-wing and raised her to be T2 badass before T1.
Basically making
dum.
the movie redundant in the first place.
So
undoing one of the best Terminator movies.
That's what they're doing here. They're like, oh, okay, let's pretend that first one never exists.
But Pat, you love this one so much more than the first one.
No,
you told me out the front of the cinema.
That was more of an overall kind of like...
You saw the look of disgust on my face.
Like I said, I always thought of it...
Don't you remember the Twitter poll we had?
Yeah, I'm trying to explain it. The first movie I was like...
Sorry, shut me down. Jesus.
Now
that's pretty good looking de-aging. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Looking,
only because the gigantic shades are covering most of his face.
Commando's part of the timeline.
He just walks over. He's got a tree trunk on his arm. He's like, "Come with me, Alyssa Milano." That's actually the director's daughter. This film was directed by Alan Taylor, who had previously directed Thor: The Dark World and 6 episodes of Game of Thrones. And
that's where she got her job.
And I did say after the last season's Beyond the Wall episode, Alan Taylor directed that. And I remember at the time when we did our Game of Thrones recap, our weekly Game of Thrones recap, that I forgave Alan Taylor for Terminator Genisys after that episode. I was like, he's redeemed himself with this episode.
Now he's unredeemed himself.
Because I'm watching it again, it's reminding me. I'm like, oh, I'll have to watch Beyond the Wall tomorrow now. How's those beers, Bob?
Yeah, good. John Boston.
All the way from Boston. Here's Academy Award winner J.K. Simmons.
Who's he supposed to be in this?
Himself.
But is he supposed to be that same professor that's been in all the Terminators?
No. He was the cop at the beginning, like in the department store. He was one of the
one that was saved.
He was one of the beat cops,
and he believes them because he's been there and seen it all.
Apparently, J.K. Simmons made up most of his dialogue. He improv'd most of it on the set.
He just read the script and went, "Fuck, I'm not doing that."
He's like, "I'm just gonna give me the what do I actually have to get across?" Right, this is what I'm gonna do.
This is the worst script ever. I'm just gonna make this shit up. All right.
It's another bit of bad casting. He doesn't look anything like that younger cop earlier in the movie.
Come on, Pat.
J.K. Simmons is very J.K. Simmons. He's got that face. It's like not many people have. And,
seeing him here just reminds me I need to watch Whiplash again.
Yeah, I love that movie.
That movie is fucking brilliant.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was okay.
So
I didn't mind it. Brent's face. He's just like, what the fuck?
Oh, listen to this, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
GENISYS. It's connected to my phone. Connects to my car.
Yeah, I hate that.
Wow, that sounds
that
great.
Sounds totally fucking depressing.
Isn't it retarded?
And it sounds like everything that's already out there. Like,
Pat, we can't use that word anymore.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. You're probably right.
But maybe back in the 80s they still use that word, so we'll let it slide just this once. Never do it again. Because I'm from the past. Did you guys ever do that? Like in school, they took you down to the cop shop and they put you in a jail cell, and then they did everybody's fingerprints, so then you're on file. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I did that.
To us.
I did it like in grade
Tasmania is some kind of like
grade 4 or something.
We're a fucking penal colony. What do you expect?
Yeah,
That's where they send all the convicts.
And here we go for history class. We're going to go down and get you.
I loved it. And they took us down into the garage and they put the lights on in the police cars.
You're screwed now for anything.
Yeah.
And in home ec, they're like, "What kind of meat is this? It's not people."
Who pissed in the cooking oil?
I got told off once because I was sitting on the bench in home ec, and I was like, "What's the issue?" She's like, "That's your bum is on the bench where we prepare." I'm like, "I'm wearing like 3 layers." Like, what?
Oh, Fonzie over here.
Hey. No jukeboxes in my school though, but there was a great crap VCR which Marky and I used to go. We used to sneak into the defunct nurse's office and watch R-rated videos during lunch.
They just had R-rated videos laying
No,
around.
they were ours. Like, we had, like, Desperado and From Dusk Till Dawn and all these movies. Marky and I just went through this phase.
When you talk about teenagers going to watch R-rated movies, and then you talk about...
just horror movies and shit. Yeah. But the thing
Keeping
is...
it clean at school-ish. Clean-ish.
The thing is, we never watched them, like, all. We only ever, like... We watched the first hour, and then we just rewind it every day, and we'd always end up watching the first hour. And then we were in, like, our class one day, one of the teachers walked through, we were watching, like, the shootout scene in Desperado, where he's, like, up on the bar, and he's pa-pa-pa-pa-pa.
Yeah.
And the teacher walks through, and he kind of stops, and he's like, "Shouldn't you guys be outside?" And we're like, "No, we're good."
It's the West Coast. It's probably raining.
Yeah. Everyone's out playing in the rain. What's wrong with those people? Now they're escaping from prison. She's a strong, independent woman. She does not need him to unlock those handcuffs. She's quite capable, and she doesn't want to mate with him. She's meant to be in love. Create the savior of mankind. Wow. Man, that's a good drop.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, here we go.
It's John Connor.
Scarface.
Hey.
Con Dog Millionaire. What are you doing here?
Wait till you see what they do with him.
Get some good exposition here. Hi, Dad. Sorry, guys, we're just watching the movie.
I loved him in Planet of the Apes.
Oh, Dawn. Yeah, that's great.
Apes!
Jeez, I love all those movies.
I'd love for you to go back and watch the originals.
I used to like the Mark Wahlberg one. I used to love that one.
God.
When I was younger.
Let's go back to the 60s and watch the original Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston.
I don't think I could.
You wouldn't make it through the first 20 minutes.
No, I wouldn't be able to do that. I've seen little clips on there. I couldn't watch that.
You make me sick. This is Patrick Brown's last episode of the Bearded Geeks, everyone. He only likes anything with current modern effects, like Metro.
No, anything.
I thought it looked better than this.
Just things that look
Metro.
good, mate. They gotta just look good.
Why has Arnold got his hands up that bear's anus?
We all bought Metro Exodus this week. Going off Terminator for a second.
Oh, here
and
we
this
go.
motherfucker drops the bomb tonight. Oh, just didn't really, like, I was expecting more. I thought it would look better. Like, I thought the graphics just didn't do it. Thought it would be better than that.
Yeah.
Metro Exodus, the graphics could be better.
Yeah.
It's like
it's hard for you to see, though.
Person.
It's probably hard for you to see because you're a big fan and you've done all of my...
I've got eyes.
Yeah, but
Bobby is the most objective person out of all of us.
But when you like
talking about,
when you're a fan of something, it's hard to say.
Oh my lord!
I think you just you're a big fan of it. So
we better check
obviously you're
we better check
protecting
the Metro Exodus subreddit and see what they're saying.
He's protecting his little game.
I didn't mean it like that. But I don't know. I'm not saying I hate it. I haven't even given it a chance. But I was just
the graphics were just a bit shit.
No, I didn't say shit. I just wasn't expecting
They're
that.
just not good enough.
They didn't look like the same that I saw on the trailers when I originally thought.
Every game's like that. Every game's a graphical downgrade.
Yeah, but it was. Yeah, I was quite surprised. It was more the gameplay as well.
They shoot for the heavens, like to get our attention, and then they're like, you know what? We actually can't do this. We have to compromise.
Whoops. Drop my bottle cap. That's all right. Yeah.
Jesus, Bob. Stop the show so Bob can pick up the bottle cap he just dropped.
But it's a good game. I haven't said anything bad about it. I was just saying what I thought. I was expecting that I'd be loving and obsessed and soaked into this big game, and yeah, I just hasn't got me yet.
Give it time. Don't take it back.
That's
to
what I mean. I got to give it time. That's what I mean.
I'll be so disappointed if you take that back to the shop.
I'm only a few hours in. Yeah, I got to give it more of a chance.
Hot tip to all Patrick Brown worshippers out there: your senpai is incredibly hard to please. So if you're going to take him on a hot date, you got to take him to the fanciest place that has weird things on the menu. That will catch his attention.
Patty,
that's a lie. I eat everything.
Patty's weird. Patty's not hard to please.
No,
it's just confusing as fuck to please.
We'll go out to a restaurant, like a place we've never been before, and Pat will see the weirdest thing on the menu, and he's like, "I've just got to try that." Cow's brain, octopus tentacle or something like that. I'm going to try that.
That's just odd occasion.
Come on.
Patty's recommendation for the week last time was what? Like a can of V? Like, yeah, he's not hard to please.
Yeah, I eat everything. I don't care. But that's why
he's easy to please. It's just, it's like the thing that you expect him to like will be not the thing at all. It'll be like this other fucking $2 meat pie over here. Be like the most delicious meal you've ever eaten. It'd be like, oh no, it wasn't for me. Fucking hell, Krispy Kreme donut with.
It didn't look as good as the picture in the. It didn't look as good as the picture in the menu.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens. Especially with McDonald's or Hungry Jacks do that all the time, and you get it, and it's just like
their food's fucking trash.
Just like thrown into a box.
I just picture Patty's got like a Terminator vision thing with the grid and the red boxes, and it's like moving around, and it'll focus on the thing that you're not, like everybody else is looking over here at this thing, and Patty's thing will go, I like those.
And everything else he doesn't like, shit out.
Didn't grab me.
Oh, this is a bit where I think he reveals.
One big happy family. You are old enough now to be your mum's dad?
Pops.
Oh, he blew the ass out of that teddy.
That's it. Get him.
No blood.
No.
No, because it's PG-13, so there's no blood and there's one fuck, which they've already used, so there won't be any more fucks in this movie.
Oh, God.
I hate how in movies they don't choke anyone for real, except for in Inglourious Bastards.
Doing Daenerys' face.
Yeah.
Where Christoph Waltz was choking out Diane Kruger, and Tarantino comes up and he's like, look, it's just not real. It's just not real enough. He's like, and he said to Diane Kruger, he's like, do you trust me to we'll just do it once. He's like, I just really want to choke you just for a few seconds so we can get it on film.
Did the Matrix thing there.
And they did it like 3 times.
This is where I was like, oh, fuck off.
They showed it in the fucking trailer.
I know, they spoiled it all in the trailer. But
they put that in the trailer. Jesus.
But I just hate the fact that he is now a Terminator and it's just annoying.
He's actually a T5000.
Yeah.
No, he's a T3000, beg your pardon.
They're like, let's take this to the next level.
That's insanity. So the character that plays John Connor, they put that scene of him rising up as a robot.
More than that.
In the loading screen and in the trailers.
There's
when we were first playing the movie?
Oh, yeah.
And it was like there, like spoiling that.
Oh, in the menu, yeah.
In the menu, and then in the trailers had all that too.
There's more shots like later in the film. He actually has like a more robotic form he takes.
You'll see.
And they have that where he changes back to normal. They put it in the trailer. And I was like, if you just kept those two bits, like, even though it's a movie, like it's a pretty hard fucking low to medium movie. If they just kept that, I would have given it an extra point because, wow, that's a cool idea. But they blew it all in the fucking trailers.
Because they wanted to...
Here they were explaining it.
Yeah, that guy got a hold of him.
I'm Skynet. Here's the Doctor.
Bloody Time Lords. Screwing around with the time.
He's like, bend over and take my sonic screwdriver. Because it's an app. Listen to all those sci-fi techie sound effects.
So why has Arnold stopped trying to kill him now? He's just listening to him.
He's just like, oh, I didn't know this.
He's got a mind of
I
his
knew
own.
that I had to kill him, but I didn't know this bit.
Usually they just do it. They don't sit there and listen, do they?
And this is how they get around it. She literally just said, you can't kill us, we're your parents. If you kill us, we're never born. And he's like, who says? He's like, the way I see us, we're exiles in time. Time no longer applies to us. It doesn't matter because we're so far out of the fucking time loop that whatever we do is not going to matter. So essentially setting up how I'm going to try and kill you for the rest of the movie.
Well, now he's stronger than him. It's a bit stupid.
It's kind of cool, though, because he's actually testing his strength here that he's never used before. So that's kind of cool. He's kind of like, ooh, I can actually... I do recall there was a scene Robert Patrick was originally meant to be in this movie. The scene just back there where they come smashing through the wall, apparently in the trailer, the guy on the left in the chair actually is Robert Patrick. He has a cameo, but you don't see it. Pepsi Max! Buy Pepsi Max!
There, that's a bit of a thing there, isn't it?
That's how you keep the budget down. Product placement. Can't leave my robot daddy. Magnets. Because we're made out of metal. Wouldn't a gun just got sucked over? Or is it made out of like carbon or something? Aren't all guns made out of like carbon and that now? So they're so much lighter?
I have no idea. I'm not a gun nut.
Okay. Any of our American listeners want to comment below?
Pops.
Just pop my kneecap back in.
I used to have to do that in high school. I dislocated my knee 5 times in the course of about 3 or 4 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah, was nasty.
Fucking hell.
The best time was sitting in the gym class on the floor, and I'd sort of run the gauntlet. They were doing like a dodgeball kind of thing, and someone clipped my back leg, and I just like landed on these battens that were all like laid out on the floor.
No,
so
really?
I just skated for ages, and then twisted on my knee, and my knee just went boom, boom. And so I'm laying there on the floor in pain, going fuck, and I just start banging the knee back in off the side, like ding, ding, ding.
Jeez. And
one of the girls in class fainted, and everyone's fucking
really
losing their shit. They're all standing around me going, "Oh my god!" Just mayhem. And I'm sitting there. I'm the one with the fucking knee out.
Oh no,
Christ.
Yeah. So that's when I pretty much I was a very sporty kid, and I just gave up and became a video gaming nerd from there.
Look at you now.
Look at me now. Damn
Brown
you
Fury
knee.
on the shelves in comic shops.
Meant to happen.
GENISYS counting down 1 day, 3 hours.
God.
Fucking hell, that's been a long ass day. Wasn't it 2 days before?
Yeah,
Feels like they're making you watch every second of the countdown.
Machine phase matter. How can Arnold get this dialogue out? Maximum combat utility. How does he have access to all this information? He's essentially just a drone, isn't he?
Is he still hooked into any of the Skynet
Nah,
stuff?
I don't
I think
know.
they explained it, like the time that he spent there growing old, he's been researching.
Like, just imagine like
How's
an
he
ant.
research something if there's no information?
Don't know. Must be going on his own little things, little
Side
outings. Going for a walk. As walks past Skynet and has
Saw a dog today. Might be
spent some
Skynet.
time in the old seniors place. Isn't this supposed to be Dyson's son? Is that right?
Yeah, it's meant to be Danny.
So the guy from the little boy that you see in Judgment Day when they break into.
Did you
his
know
home,
that actually
that's him growing
in T2, Miles Dyson has 2 kids, but the scenes with the daughter are actually cut out. So if you just watch T2, it just appears that Miles Dyson only has 1 kid, Danny, but he actually has 2.
Yeah, he had a daughter.
It's a hell of a vacuum cleaner. It's the latest model.
His last name's not Dyson for nothing. Don't leave me hanging. Yeah.
You put your hands in there to dry it, and it just like sends them back in time to a drier time. Zip. Oh wow!
This goes back to like the Cretaceous period. It's so muggy.
I
My
left
hands
them in there
just
too
feel so
long.
clammy.
They're like baby Trump hands.
Ugh. This is my real hair. That's a good look, Pat. I bet you could pull off that look with the shirt, with the skivvy bloody sweater jumper.
The dad look.
The dad look.
Yeah, Pat would make it pretty good, like Kmart dad, I reckon.
Get a skivvy.
1 billion pre-orders, and I'm sure it's not cheap either. This is like fucking Chris Hemsworth's new app. It's just like taking the world by storm.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
What's this?
Chris Hemsworth's got this new app. It's like, it's not like one he put together with like a mate of his. It's like one of those apps where they hired a company and it was like 500 people worked on this app. It's like a fitness thing. So you go through it and you can pretty much get like the Chris Hemsworth workout or whatever. So you're like, you know, at the start, you're like, hey, what do you actually want to focus on? Do you want to focus on stamina? Or do you want to focus on muscle gain? Or do you want to just focus on getting healthy, losing weight or whatever? And you go through and you have like all these workouts and stuff. And then you're like, now you're done. Now you can have like this smoothie thing or whatever. And it's got like the ingredients, how to make it. And then it plays a video of Chris Hemsworth walking into his kitchen after having a workout. And he drinks that smoothie. And it's like, ugh. So it's like all that kind of junk. It's like a day-to-day fucking fitness app, but it's like very
Become the Hemo.
It's like looks super expensive. Like they worked on it for fucking years. I bet.
Chris Hem's workout.
Download the Hems workout.
I think he feels like you know, Arnold here is as the Terminator. He almost feels a bit too human in this.
Well,
like the way he's just talking and that there, he's just walking around like, yeah, he's been doing all this stuff on his own.
Well, he's been living amongst humans for nearly 50 years.
I suppose, yeah.
And like they're like, what did you do while you waited? He's like,
I used to love back in the old ones. He was just very robotic, very
He's like, I worked in
only been there
construction.
for
Very new,
a
yeah.
day.
Yeah, he'd only been there for a day.
True,
and he's
yeah.
like, he says that his CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
See, I've turned you guys already. You're starting to defend Genesis. There you go.
No, I'm not. I'm just defending that one point. I'm just pointing that out. Where
Yeah, boy. I've converted him. No,
can't believe how human he is. Pat, you said
Pat,
this
he
is your
keeps
favorite
trying.
movie.
No, it's not. I don't like this movie.
You love it. Why did you
You
say
only
at the
don't like
cinema
it
then
'cause
you
we-
like this
we-
No,
better?
I don't think it's terrible. No,
It's only because we give you so much shade.
I don't think it's terrible. I don't want to watch it again. Like
Hold up your tiny hands and tell me
I never
why.
had any reason to watch it again apart from this, but
Oh, come on.
I wouldn't have never picked it up again. I wouldn't have.
You
But
loved it.
yeah. To be fair, when
kept her
I had
boombox.
that comment before, I
The battery
just
still
walked
worked.
out of the cinema and I was kind of like I kind of enjoyed.
What did
parts
we
of it.
watch? We were watching.
That was T2. We watched T2 in 3D.
And that's when I made
yeah,
the.
Yeah. He was on a Terminator high.
No, I mean when we walked out of Genesis, I was pretty. I was like, you know, on a bit of a. I was pretty disappointed by it, but I thought it was kind of enjoyable, and parts of it were. This bit's a bit silly, isn't it?
Nah, it's cool. I like this bit. I'm gonna... Right, let's work out. Let's rate all the Terminator films from best to worst.
I can't because I haven't seen them all. But I'll say
Bob, you suck.
2 and 1 and the rest don't matter.
And the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Where do you sit, Paddy?
Well, yeah, 2's definitely 1 for me, and
Sorry?
2's definitely number 1 on my list, and then 1 is the second, and then I would say, I'd actually say,
This is like that who's on
I
first.
would probably actually say Salvation is number 3 for me.
Oh.
And then this, and then number 3.
That's pretty much exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. I just thought Salvation was actually kind of gutsy and very gritty, and I like that kind of, you know, they had a bit of guts to it, even though it was a bit, you know, Christian Bale was awesome. And
I put it on one day and we watched it. I don't know why. I think we were trying to pick a movie and I was like, what about Terminator Salvation? She's like, yeah, I want to watch that. And I was like, damn it. And then we watched
Waste
it.
of an afternoon. What did I do?
Yeah, she actually liked it. She's like, I like that movie. And I was like, oh, well, that's good. I kind of like some of the ideas in Salvation. I like the fact that it's set after Judgment Day in the future. Christian Bale's in it. And that's the movie where he yelled at the guy on set or whatever. The grip
I
or the
remember
guy
that.
on set.
Yeah.
He got in his eye line or some
video
shit like that.
that was-
It's like, I'm trying to act and you're in my fucking eye line or whatever. You ruined it. He's like, fire him. You're fired or some shit like that.
really,
Yeah.
I remember that. It was like a video that they released online, wasn't it?
Yeah.
oh, you can actually see him going off.
Oh, and Anton Yelchin was in Salvation as well. He played Kyle Reese. So there's another Kyle Reese there. That's one I forgot about.
Poor old Anton.
Yeah, I really liked Anton Yelchin. It's a shame. There's another thing I was thinking about the other day in regard to the Terminator franchise. Is that... I think we talked about this before, like... R-rated US movies that, you know, they made toys for and sold to kids, and they made animated series like RoboCop and Rambo, and they made Alien action figures and Aliens action figures, and which, you know, we had the same one, Bob, the gorilla alien from Aliens. But I was just like, why was there never a Terminator animated series? I'm just like, that's kind of seems like a missed opportunity.
Probably because it was really hard to fucking animate. It's like robots.
I think at the time it was because, like, you know, RoboCop got an animated series, Rambo got an animated series, but they were owned by a bigger studio, like Fox. Fox owned them. And I think at the time, I think I might be getting this wrong, but I think it was like Carolco Pictures or something like that owned the rights to the Terminator. They were very small film studio in the 80s, so I think that might be the reason why they just didn't have enough money to do it, even if they maybe wanted to.
I used to have liquid metal slime from T2. I got it
really?
in a show bag. The Terminator show bag.
It was kind of like silver, glittery, kind of spoogey.
Yeah, it like smelt real weird, and you'd hold it, and it'd just like slide, like stick between your fingers.
That's
And if you grab it, like, and squeeze it, it'd go like kind of harder.
Wow,
it was pretty cool.
Just like a penis.
Hey,
tish.
And it had like a robot claw hand thing. And
where you put the fingers in it, and you're like,
yeah,
one of those ones,
yeah.
And you always used to do the middle finger, and you're like,
yeah. And the old, the pump action shotgun had one of those in it too. Back when you used to get like guns that actually looked like guns when you were kids.
Yeah, didn't have big orange caps on the end.
Mm.
You used to get like actual Uzi water pistols, like in Airheads. That's a good movie.
Yeah, one thing they didn't like.
Here we go.
Don't worry about it.
No, tell me.
Come on,
come on. This is the whole point. We're doing it.
I talk too much.
It's been come on.
I can keep my opinions.
We need to keep
spit it out. Yes.
Go on.
Spit it out. Don't be a bitch. Spit it out.
No, it was nothing. I was just saying.
No, if it's nothing, then say it.
I was just saying the casting with him, I don't see him as a son of her and Kyle Reese. Look at their features. He's got such distinctive features, John Connor, there, that he does not look like a son of either of them.
It's like the GTA Online character creation.
Yeah.
Select your parents to get your character. You're like, what the fuck?
What a pain in the butt that was.
Because they're both like quite good looking people, whereas the John Connor, he's just he's got a very unique look about him.
Oh, a daytime scene. See what other facts I've got for you guys.
Explosions.
There's that.
Yeah, this is the shot that was in the trailer. This just after this bit. Yeah, this bit was in the trailer.
Ghost Rider.
And then it just shows that it's John Connor, and you're like, oh, fuck.
And then he changes back, and he's got like a sweet leather jacket on.
Got his jacket and everything.
Oh, he got his jacket back. That's lucky.
Everybody wears black leather in the Terminator universe.
It's like everyone's a Terminator in this movie. You got like friggin' 4 or 5 Terminators. You got the cop who's like liquid metal. You got Arnie. You got the first Arnie. You got bloody John Connor's Terminator.
No one's investigating all this crazy shit that goes down either. They're just like, right. Like all those explosions that just went off then, and then everyone's standing around just like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy was just on
chaos and stuff. Yeah.
Kyle Reese calls the T-800 a skin job in one scene, which is a nod to Blade Runner. Yeah, I missed that. Emily Blunt was considered for the role of Sarah Connor. She's a bit older, though. Couldn't see Emily Blunt playing a 19-year-old. Like...
Yeah, Emily Blunt's got the acting chops for it.
Yeah, do the hardcore thing.
She's and like especially like in was it Day After Tomorrow? No, not Day After Tomorrow. What's that one?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. Like she was awesome in that, and she was definitely a Sarah Connor in that.
This is interesting. I want to go off Terminator real quick, but just in regard to like casting and stuff. I actually read today because
bad 3D there.
The X-Men Dark Phoenix movie that's going to come out, and Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones plays Jean Grey. I actually read an article today that the only reason she was hired for, what was it, X-Men Apocalypse or whatever it was, to play Jean Grey was because of her social media following.
Really?
Because on Instagram she has like 8 nearly 9 million followers.
Okay.
And she actually said in an interview, she was like, there was another actress, it was between her and she was a much better actress, but I got the job because I had a huge social media following. And I'm like, that's a bit
retarded.
You've said it again!
There it is.
One of those words. Sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. It's just yeah.
But I guess that's just how the machine works these days. Welcome to the machine.
more chances for marketing your damn movie before it's even hit the shelves. They
That's
don't
exactly
care about.
Right.
They don't
Try
care
to reach
about
the biggest possible audience.
That's the problem with it all. It's not about making the best movie. It's about selling the most tickets to the movie.
That's exactly right. It's just like,
Which is
what
a
can
real
we do
shame.
to make money off this? We don't care what you do, just make
There has to
money.
be a bit of a balance. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
I want
And that
mi-
shift is starting to happen too.
I want Mythbusters to do that.
Like the
it'll-
only way we'll get like better movies and that is if we just don't support the ones that are coming out. Like, you know, I have no doubt.
well, I've been doing
Dark
that for
Phoenix
fucking
will-
ages.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right.
And it's not working for me.
I mean, I'm pretty confident the Dark Phoenix would probably tank. You know, it could surprise me and make some money, but you never know.
We got a bit of
But
Inception.
nobody kind of cares about that X-Men anymore. Everyone's already looking to the fucking... Because they're being integrated into the MCU, so everyone's already looking to the future.
That's it.
And this just reminds me of The Amazing Spider-Man, the scene I hate the most in that movie, where the car's hanging off the bridge with the kid in it, and he takes his mask off after he's been Spider-Man for like 3 months, and he's like, hey, I'm just a regular guy. Don't be scared. Wear the mask. It'll make you strong. And I'm like, fuck off. This is shit.
That's a
Why
good
do they
scene. What are you
always
talking
have
about?
to take their masks off?
That was a good scene.
This is pretty
See,
cool, though.
There's Patty again with his.
That was one of the first scenes I saw from the movie before it even came out, and I was like, it grabbed me. I was like, ooh.
He grabbed it.
It was real emotional. I was like, oh, this is
Did you
awesome.
think Andrew
How do you-
Garfield was too pretty in that movie?
Yeah, that's one of the problems with him. I thought he was too much of a cool Peter Parker. He's a
Peter
skateboarder.
Parker.
Peter Parker.
Peter Patrick.
Pointer Park.
You know, he was like
Pointer.
he was a skateboarder. He was like really good on a skateboard, and
He
like
was just meant to be
a,
like a social outcast, but
he was
I
like
agree.
a cool kid though. He was like,
Tobey Maguire was a better Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield was a better Spider-Man. And Tom Holland's just better at both.
I think he's better at both. He's good. Spot on.
You're so strong.
I actually still have a really good attachment to the Tobey Maguire ones. I really like them. I don't even mind 3. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It did. I can see why it ruined the franchise, but yeah.
It's
Anyway.
just so cringy.
Studio
Yeah.
interference, that movie was. That was Avi Arad. If you saw him at the Oscars when they accepted the Oscar for Into the Spider-Verse, he got up there. I found it very funny he didn't get an Oscar because I bet he would love that. Why they're playing theme to cops.
Why do they play Bad Boys song?
Jesus, is she for real 5'3"? Oh god,
Oh,
they're doing it
they're
again.
doing it again. Overusing it now.
Yeah, Avi Arad, he was at the Oscars. He wore the beanie with the Spider-Man image and that on it. That was him in Spider-Man 3. He pushed to have Venom in that movie. Sam Raimi just wanted to do the whole Sandman thing,
Yeah.
you know, make it a bit more kind of tragic, you know, accident, the whole Uncle Ben thing, and,
Yeah.
you know, kind of the redemption and
I
and
saw
stuff,
a good
but-
video about they were talking about what Spider-Man 4 was going to be.
Oh, with
And
the Vulture.
The Vulture and all that stuff, and Mysterio was going to be in it as just a small time.
Anne Hathaway was meant to play the Vulture's daughter or something like that. She
Yeah, I
was going to be
thought
like
that
the
was
Vultress or
Yeah, I
something.
thought that was a bit silly. I thought, no. But, yeah, I thought that was interesting watch.
If that kid dies, then you're going to disappear. Paradox. I probably call this the lull of the movie. Nothing's really happening, so...
Mm.
Been working this case for 33 minutes.
That's about right.
I'm going to quickly have a... I know it's...
You are
Oh.
so unprofessional.
Oh my lord.
See, this is why we don't have Patrick Brown on the show anymore, because he can't even hold his bladder for 2 fucking hours. It's like that clip I sent to the Joe Rogan today. He's like, "I'm just gonna pee. Talk amongst yourselves." And Alex Ross is like, "You weren't there. My dad sat me down and he told me about the cyborgs." Not Alex Ross, Alex Jones.
Oh, Jesus
Alex Ross
Christ. That was like watching fucking Walt from The Big Lebowski, just like...
Wasn't that funny?
Shit. Oh my
Doesn't
God.
Eddie Bravo remind you of Easy so much?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, he does.
The flat earth, it's real.
Just the way that he pushes the buttons, like, constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's dressed very similar to as she was in... Oh, as Sarah Connor was in T2. Not exactly. She wore like a tactical vest, but this is more...
It's pretty similar, yeah.
It's more like a top, which just looks like a tactical vest. So
Yeah.
This is how close we're going to get. Can you hear that toilet flushing in the background, listeners? That's Patrick Brown. He's just evacuated his bladder because he has the bladder of a 5-year-old. Because he drinks like a fucking fish, that's why.
Yeah.
If you actually listen, you can hear Patrick. Jeez, mate, you make some noise. How was that, mate? How would you rate that out of 10?
Refreshing. I feel new.
It's like your bladder's gone back to Genesis.
Patrick Brown's human as well. He's got to pee.
I could not hold it. It was actually painful, so I was like, I gotta go.
I can feel my bladder tearing.
Yeah.
Whoa, he just pushed the whole door in. Nice to see you.
You still get his catchphrases through the whole
that
movie.
thing too, you get to the toilet and you've been busting for so long and then you stand there and you're like, your body's like working against it because it's been doing it for so long. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, now I can't pee.
Like the doors are sealed so shut tight because there's so much pressure on it.
Oh, I've had so many embarrassing nightclub moments like that in my younger days in the early 20s. You'd be like busting, but just holding off for as long time, like get stuck in a conversation at the bar or something, and then you're like, finally, I'll run off and go to the toilet.
Yeah.
And it's always packed. There's always like people fucking squished either side of you, and you're just standing there and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And then you just like sometimes you wait for so long and you're just like, well, I fucking lost this round. Put it back. Again. Get straight back to the bar, sit down, and it's like on
painful,
again. And it's like, oh no.
Got to go.
Got to go now.
We literally had an action scene like 6 or 7 minutes ago, and now we're getting another one. Is it just me, or do 90, well, we'll say 85%, 85% of current action films always have some kind of helicopter scene in them now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fake looking one.
They look more real in GTA 5, don't they, mate?
They actually do.
Oh, get stuffed.
Yeah, that's unrealistic.
That chopper was never going to make it.
No.
They've never played GTA 5, obviously.
I love this movie up until then. It's ruined now.
They do that.
Turn it off.
It starts to get too Hollywood or too far-fetched.
Look at this
like that.
shit.
Like skimming across building sides.
Yeah.
They're flying these things like he's freaking Spider-Man. Like,
Wouldn't one of those, like one of the landing struts
realistic.
get hooked in a window or something like that? Or
like they have to keep it somewhat realistic. Like if they want a good movie, it just goes too far.
There's no human moments in this, I feel. Like real... Well, that's what the first two movies got really well. Was like they had action set pieces, but then they slowed it down and had more kind of intimate scenes.
yeah,
between,
human elements. in that.
and then brought it back up again. It was like a roller coaster ride. Whereas
Like I
this is
said,
just-
there was only like 6 or 7 minutes between the action scene there.
And like
in that quiet bit, like it felt like there's nothing really substantially big that happened. you
Yeah,
know?
Worth
like a
slowing
bad
it down
joke. You
for.
don't talk much, do you? Nice to see you. All that shit.
Yeah.
Like, just go back to T2. Like, even after they've escaped Pescadero and they're driving along, and she checks John. Are you okay? Checking in with Steve, and then he's like, I see everything. Even that minute of scene there, just that slowdown is enough for you to have a breather.
Yeah.
Later on, where he's, they're working on the car together, and he's teaching him about, do high fives and stuff, and
Yep.
all of that.
look at her, she's
Breaking into the lab, and like they even have that slower moment there where they come across the Dyson guy there, and
Yeah.
and then they have a bit of a human moment there as well, and then And then crazy big action set piece kicks off after
I'll
that.
be back.
Here we go. He's a robot torpedo.
He's like,
No.
he's going to missile himself into it. And like, where is he? Like, what happened there?
Is he going to land in the drink?
Yeah.
No.
Where'd he go?
He would have went straight through that into the drink.
And I bet you they'll make it that he went inside of it and he's hanging on, like, but there's no way that would happen. Is that conveniently Skynet right there?
Just rocked up
Is
at
it?
the front
I think
door.
it is.
I think
isn't
it actually
Yeah.
is.
Oh, no.
This is how bullshit
Call
this
security
movie
at
is.
Cyberdyne.
Cyberdyne.
And look, there's John Connor, he walks straight in.
Oh.
This
Is he
is
gonna
how
kill
shit
this
it
guy?
becomes.
Throwback to T2.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he need witnesses? I'm sure this guy is fucking not worried about going to court.
He's like mimicking his voice and everything. Look at that right outside. Skynet just walks in the front door.
Oh my god.
Like
What
how
a convenient helicopter crash that was.
Yeah.
Maybe we're underestimating Arnie's ability to mathematically course correct his torpedo to smash the helicopter into the front of the building.
He would have done all those calculations before he leapt off.
So this is perfect timing.
Computing.
I've got enough time for a catchphrase.
And we've got bags full of guns.
I'll be mathematically correct.
That top she's wearing is not very tactical whatsoever. It just has pockets. At least T2 Sarah Connor wore actual vest. It's Cortana.
Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah. She's always going on about John.
She does too. John. Spartan 117.
Why are you pointing guns at a hologram? It's not going to do anything.
Uh-oh. It's got that sweet John
I
Wick
was about to
shotgun.
say, why aren't you shooting for the head?
It's like earlier they held up those shotgun shells. They were like liquefied magnetic something shells. And I'm like, they can't be real.
What, those bloody propeller blades or whatever they were, they just did 2 scratches on his face. Wouldn't he be half mangled? At least.
I guess it would have been like dropping a cement truck the size of Arnold Schwarzenegger and just went pa-ding straight through it. He's so heavy it just wouldn't have done nothing. He just would have hit those blades. It's pa-ding.
But there was explosions and everything. Like, the other one got melted off by explosions and all
That's
that.
certainly not a practical effect on his cheek. It'll be the makeup, and then there'll be like a nice bit of green patch in there so they could
Big old
CG in
hunk of
some
green paint on there.
Yeah. That's a time displacement field. I need the quantum field. That's it. Just punch a keypad and
like
the door
that
will
way.
automatically
That'll open
open.
That's ridiculous. I can't believe they just did that.
Jesus Christ. I'd love it. I'd love it if they twisted that and like he punched the keypad and then opened the door and it's locked still. And they're
Yeah.
like, well, you fucked that up, didn't you? Now we can't enter the key code. Got to call a tech guy out.
So they're literally creating liquid Terminators already. So what are you going to do? Let's just blow it up. That's the answer to everything in the Terminator movies. How do we stop this? Let's blow it up. It literally is. In T2, they go to blow up Cyberdyne. In T3, what do they go to blow up in that one?
Hasn't GENISYS worked out their whole... Well, I mean, they're basing their thing off, like, cloud computing. So if they blew up this building, wouldn't there just be another one somewhere?
It's
up
uploaded.
in the cloud.
Skynet is the cloud.
Yeah, unless this is the place where everything's saved.
Not yet.
He doesn't need eyes.
Yeah.
Put your power fist on, Arnie.
He almost sounded a bit Aussie then, didn't he? Give me the bloody detonator, you dick.
See, that could have been like a fatal thing, unless he's not trying to kill her. But like, he's got her.
The worst ever, like, American to Aussie accent I ever heard is in the first Ghost Rider. There's a scene, because it was filmed in Melbourne, and they used, like, a local actor at, like, the train yard. There's this scene where, like, Blackheart and that goes to this train yard, and he comes out and he's actually got, like, a lantern and shit, and he's holding it up, and he's using, like, his American accent, and he's like, what are you doing here? You can't be here. This is private. And then he sees something, and then he's like, property. You can't be here. This is private. Property. So Aussie. Detonate. Self-terminate.
Too late. Now we're going to push each other around for 5 minutes.
It'll be like Terminator 3 again. Just throwing each other around.
It's the Superman shit where they just like run through shit. Everything.
How much has the Transformers franchise influenced sound design in science fiction films ever since they come out?
The electronic
massive
kind of thing.
Massively.
And the lens flares too.
Yeah.
Look at them lens flares everywhere. Look, the whole screen's filled up with lens flares.
It's almost like J.J. Abrams directed this movie.
Yeah, look at
There's lens flares everywhere.
It's literally, you can't get away from them.
That was almost like a transforming sound effect.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. Yeah, once you start hearing it too.
That's different.
I gotta say, though, the Bumblebee movie is actually pretty decent.
I can't wait to see that.
It's like what you said, Bob, from when we watched that first trailer, and you're like, it's got like a very Shape of Metal vibe. Not the shape of water, the shape of metal.
I knew it.
It's kind of spot on, but yeah, all the Transformer stuff is actually fucking great. The design stuff's good, it's not too over the top. There's actually a bit of a story in there, even though the story is only pretty medium. But it's a good start. It's a good start.
Mm. Yeah, I'm interested in that. I wasn't racing out to see it or anything, but I think I'd give it a go.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Whoa,
that which is more than I can say for fucking about the last 85 Transformer movies. I've not been interested to see any of those.
I saw a tally the other day, and the first 5, because there's been 5 Transformers films: Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, Transformers Dark of the Moon, Transformers Age of Extinction, and Transformers The Last Knight. 5 films, almost about 13 hours of footage. For 13 hours of film between those 5 films or whatever it is. Yeah.
Jesus.
I think that's right. Might be more. Stop wasting your ammo on the bloody cameras.
Yeah, they can still see you.
I just hate the fact that we're waiting for like an app to release.
And everybody around the world's like, oh, I can't wait for this.
It's like Facebook's about to launch or something, big social media thing that's going to take over everyone's devices. And it's just like they're playing up on that kind of, because that's what everyone does these days.
What's new? What do they do in 2017?
Yeah, it's just like
Vero.
They did that in Terminator 3. That's like how
they still exist.
That's how they explained that Skynet spread so quickly. It used the internet to spread. Like in the very end of the film, like the last bit of dialogue, it's like that's how Skynet spread so fast. It used the internet to spread. And you're like, okay, at the time in 2003 or whatever it was, that's fine. That makes sense to me. But now it's just like, haven't you already done that? You know? And how's an operating system like where are the nukes going to come from if you you control everything, but
It's so
tablets,
silly too,
like,
in the way that like they put the onus on the humans to install the app to take over their devices. If Skynet used the internet the first time, why don't they just do that again? Like fucking make their own malware
and just pre-upload to everything.
Pre-upload to everything that's got a fucking internet connection. Why do you have to make a nice fancy app with a countdown timer?
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
It's not that. It's just not right.
Let's just
not
fucking...
a good way to go.
Yeah, like exactly what you said. Let's create some malware. Let's send that malware out to every fucking Samsung, Apple, everything. Hey, there's a new system update. Boom. Done. It's on everything, you know? And it's starting to spread.
It's because some kind of Hollywood producer...
See how they follow...
Apps are what the kids like.
What do you think the design here, Bobby Baxter, of John Connor, robot Terminator John Connor, the whole kind of
It's
like one of those metal palm things where you put your hand on it and it does like the outline with like the pins,
I think
one
he's
of those pin boards.
I think he's quite forgettable. If you think of the way the Terminator's skeleton is, he's got a cool kind of structure to him, and the red eye, it's almost symbolic. It's like really, cool, but that's just a black
why do you think
silhouette.
we used it in our fucking logo?
Yeah. Whereas that's just like a black
100%.
silhouette. That's just like forgettable. I couldn't.
Yeah.
It's not something that I'd want to have on a poster on a wall.
I feel like it's something I've seen 100 times before as well.
Yeah.
In different other things, it's just
like you wouldn't want that on a poster on your wall, would you? It's cooler to have the Terminator version, the classic.
And what are they going to do in the new one? I mean, they've got Diego Luna. He's listed as playing a Terminator in the new Terminator film. So I'm like, is he just going to be like a regular, endoskeleton? Or is he going to be some new kind of Terminator? I suppose they'd have to try something new.
This guy's kind of suffering from the Hollywood trend of like make everything matte black. And RoboCop did it. Like, you could put these two characters, the new RoboCop and him, next to each other, and if you turn them around the other way, you probably wouldn't be able to tell who was who.
Yeah.
They're trying to do a Judgment Day moment there, like where John Connor, and the lava, and he's got the thumb up. That's like her. She's trying to let go of her pops, and she's like doing the
sacrifice himself.
Didn't even have that effect at all. There,
not even close.
Not even close. None of it was even.
The end of that movie fucking gets me, and they used it in the first episode of Space.
Yeah,
it's like you want me to be emotional. Like I cried like a baby at the end of Terminator 2.
Yeah.
See, that wasn't even.
Like, I can't even really tell what's going on here.
No. So many
it's a crappy way to get it to go. Everything's
wary light shit.
Everything's so electronic and all that. It's nothing beat the whole metal. It was very heavy hitting, kind of the lava or the hot metal and all the.
So much blue.
There's all the slamming of the machine work and all that. It's just very Terminator-like. Whereas this is just blue lights flashing and a zappy kind of teleport thing. And they're just flapping around.
And he's all the dry skin's peeling off his face.
Yeah.
Whoop.
This is...
Dum.
Check this out. Watch what they do here.
Spoilers, Pat. Jesus. At least you can see the CPU there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, in Terminator 2 originally there was a scene where I'm sure you've all seen it, but they take the CPU out and they have to switch it over so he can, learn. He just pretty much stays default Terminator until they take it out and switch it over. But they cut that out and they just put in that line. Is like, my CPU is a neural net process. I learn in computer. He's like, the more I interact with humans, the more I learn, or whatever.
Oh shit!
Why did I bring that up? I forget.
There goes the whole place.
There goes Cyberdyne, fucking bloody.
Docklands in Melbourne. God. No one lived there anyway.
Now bloody Danny's going to go bankrupt now because his entire company's gone.
And everyone's like, we just spent billions of dollars on Skynet pre-orders. Where's my money back?
She's grieving. I'm not even convinced her using that screwdriver.
No.
You
weren't selling it to
doesn't
me,
even do
Amelia.
anything.
I thought you were pretty good in Me Before You.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I took the missus to see that. She loved it.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Bit of blood there. Looks like she
Bit
was eating a jelly donut.
Yeah.
Got a bit on the top.
Bit of jam.
I just came from lunch.
He's got the obligatory forehead scar. Little bit of a gash. Nothing
Yes,
too
little
serious.
tiny
Yeah.
one.
Just so that they keep the good looks in. If that was me and I was an actor doing this kind of thing, I'd be like, can we just go crazy with this guy? Like, have him hit up half my face and like, can we just exaggerate it? It'd be fun.
The director's like, no, we can't afford that.
Whereas I bet these guys are like, can you just make sure my face looks good?
Yeah.
Look, he's upgraded. He's now a liquid form. There you go. They're like, fuck the classic Terminator that you love. Let's make it baby. Let's make him liquid form. So you pretty much, if he's half his face got hit now, you'd never get that cool kind of skin breakaway.
What's really gonna be troubling with me with the new one coming out, is knowing that it's going to be a trilogy or part of.
Yeah.
Because then you know...
Well, they're aiming for a trilogy, yeah.
Because then you all of a sudden know that, like, everything in this movie could be undone or unimportant or overshadowed by something else.
I think it's silly when people go, like directors and that, go ahead and say, we're making the next 3, when the next one is, like, same with Avatar too.
It's the same thing that
and he's
Marvel's
like,
got.
we've got like 4 lined up, and then it's like, don't say that yet until the next one comes out. Could be a flop.
That's studios though. They're a business. They're planning ahead.
But half the time, the one comes out and then it's a flop, and they never make them again.
Yeah, well, that's right, because they never take the time to actually craft.
Yeah, and they just jump the gun. They're like, look, we're gonna.
And then they built that whole story around that arc as well. So it doesn't even make much sense. You know, it's like just make them as you go.
Yeah, exactly.
The way this movie's about to end, this just feels like an extended TV episode, because the way it ends was like, it's kind of like the end of The Dark Tower. Like, come on, let's go on our next adventure. Where are we going to go now? God. Tune in next week.
Yeah, they do that, don't they?
No.
They drive off in the distance. Who's that kid supposed to be? I forgot.
That's him. That's him as a kid.
Kyle Reese?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hang on, how's that work?
Pat, this is your favourite movie, because they're in the future.
I'm trying to work the timeline.
So Kyle Reese is still a kid.
Oh, and he still had a family and a normal life before the bombs went off.
Yeah.
That's right.
And now he's telling him to remember that GENISYS is Skynet.
Okay.
He's just like, GENISYS is only going to make $440 million. It's not going to break even. The studio's not going to be happy. Remember. Now, Pash.
And they totally missed the
so
chance.
Paint by numbers, this fucking love story too.
Don't do the smile again.
Oh God, again.
That's like the 4th time? 3rd or 4th time?
Yeah, about 4th.
At least he's not wearing leather.
It worked back in the day because he was with a kid, and the kid was trying to teach him funny stuff. And it was kind of quirky and fun, and it was just good for that moment. But yeah, it doesn't really work in these ones. They're all adults, and
we're off to the next episode. This is like the end of a video game in 2002.
Cheesy.
You know, Paddy's point before actually starts to make more sense now. Like that him being human, even though he's been there for that long. If he hasn't worked out a fucking smile yet, then you've got a point.
Yeah, if he's just that awkward to smile.
Yeah, because all the movement stuff is subtle human action.
It actually, if you're right, if they actually forgot, like, scrapped those for the thing and actually made him smile normally, like, and he was way more human, I probably would have, and they played on it more, I would have accepted it more. But, oh, that's a cool touch. Like, if they had old Arnold walking around, like, and he's more human than you or me, and he's, like, got a personality, I would have been like, wow, that's actually pretty cool, because they're right. Like, the time does that.
And it'd kind of give a bit more of a scary kind of thing to Skynet to see where they would actually be able to go.
Yeah.
Like, if they learned.
They could have given him, like, a natural smile, like, actually have him laugh. It's something, and have him actually look like he's genuinely laughing, and they're like, are you actually smiling right now? And then, like, play on that, because it's like a play on the joke from when he couldn't back in the day, and now they're like, they could have done that. That's a good idea.
I reckon they've milked that joke so much that they might even do that in these new movies.
Oh, God, I hope
not. I don't know.
Well, Arnold's meant to be in the new one, but I don't know if he's meant to play a Terminator. They're going to bring back the same guy from this one and do, like, a CG face overlay. But, I nearly get a yawn then.
Isn't there a female Terminator in this one?
No, I don't know. They're going to do... Arnold's going to play, actually, the human... the base for the actual term, like in Terminator 3 where they had that deleted scene where he's like, I'm Sergeant Calvin Candy.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like the human base for the Terminator, the T-800 or whatever. Yeah.
So I saw in the screenshots or photos from the new movie, and what's her name? Something Mackenzie or something. The
Mackenzie
actress.
Davis.
Yeah, she's in the photos. She's kind of like scarred up. She looks like she's been worked on, like a Frankenstein kind of thing. She's got all these kind of scars all over her whole body and that, like she's a robot underneath. But I don't know.
Yeah, she's meant to be like listed as some kind of assassin.
Okay.
Something like that. It's listed as in the wiki.
It's a 2-hour movie.
It is.
That felt like a 4-hour movie.
It actually did feel like longer than that.
That was ages.
So, Bob, what did you think of Terminator Genisys? I know you didn't get the whole thing because we were sitting here talking through it, but...
Much to Paddy's dismay, I think I would have rather sat home and played Metro Exodus. But I'm a sucker and I came in here and watched that shit. No, look, no, there wasn't much in it that really fucking...
Some of the CG was alright
I think,
at the start.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things, it's like it's a nice flashy movie, but I'm going to forget everything about it by about the end of the week.
By the end of tomorrow. This sentence.
And all the story directions they took was really bad, hey? Like, what they were doing.
No memorable like antagonist, no memorable human interactions between Terminators and humans, or just humans and humans. It was all forced, manufactured. Like the love story thing, the kiss at the end, you're like,
the
only bits
it's just there because it's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Like
now what I've watched it again, the only bits I've enjoyed that I just remembered from watching this was seeing the cop from the start, the liquid metal cop, and I actually just realized then I was like, I really like his manner and the way he was moving, the same as Patrick Stewart and stuff. But I actually remember, I was just thinking then, I was like, that was quite a good bit. And just seeing the two clash at the start, but that lasted like 30 seconds. And but then.
Yeah, his impersonation was
quickly declined in the way they were going with everything.
But I mean, that's a low bar to set, isn't it? Like someone impersonating someone else's great character.
Exactly,
is the best thing about this movie. Like,
I still wish it was...
the best thing I liked about this movie is where they redid that bit from the first movie. That I've already seen 12 times.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, it's like, doesn't even count because it's just a redo.
Patrick Brown, watching it again, what would you give that out of 5?
Yeah, it's a lot shitter the second time around I've watched it. I'm not saying that because you guys and that.
He secretly loves it.
No, I don't. I'm not a fan.
I always feel really bad because sometimes Paddy will like really fucking love the shit out of something.
And then
like,
we just
like
ruin it for
him. When we walked out of T2,
you did too. Yeah.
You were talking to me in that KFC that night and going on about this movie about how...
I was at T2 when I said that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we walked out of this.
No. See, I hadn't seen this. So,
oh, that's right.
So, yeah, and you were talking so fondly of this, and I just sort of turned to Jakes and I said... Wait a second, what?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. Well, like I was trying to say before, I think one of the reasons was I always you guys know how I like good looking. Like I I think that the old ones, you know, can be dated in the way of looks, and I love practical effects and that, but they still kind of...
You're an aesthetics man, aren't you?
Yeah, well, overall, I just like the overall visual. I like a good movie
You wouldn't read a whole lot of Spider-Man, but you just like the fucking way Spidey looks kind of thing, and it's a similar thing.
It's hard to explain. It's not like I'm one of those just gung-ho kind of...
visual stimuli.
I'm not saying I'm just like... I like mindless, stupid movies that are just all action and shit. I don't like that stuff. I like a good movie and a good story. That's what matters. But I mean like more of a... you know, when the visual effects and stuff are done right and they look good, and there's, you know, that's what I enjoy, and that's what I thought this had a plus on that, whereas the first one had a lot, I don't know, it just felt a bit of dated stuff in there, and it was mainly because of its time.
Yeah.
Like
whereas a lot of people love that because it's a classic, but...
Terminator 1?
Yeah.
84.
Yeah.
Older than us.
But overall, that is a better movie in an overall movie way.
Just out of curiosity, what would you say is like one of the more recent films you've seen that probably has like CGI or a visual aesthetic that really fucking grabbed you and you went, that's great, I can't fault it. Like, any ideas?
Me?
Yeah.
I actually went and saw
So we can set up another one of these nights on him.
I actually went and saw Alita the other night. I went by myself.
Without me? You fucking bastard.
Yeah, well, it was sneaky. It wasn't planned at all. Leah just got back from work. It was like 9, and she knew
Conditions were perfect.
She knew I was dying to see it. And then she just said to me, why don't you go watch that movie? And I was just like sitting there just enjoying, like, watching TV and that. I was like, oh, really? What? And she's like, why don't you just, you know, you wanted to set me, why don't you go now? All the kids are, you know, everything's cooled down. I was like, all right. So I just quickly got in the car and went out. I had like 20 minutes to go see it, and I went and watched it. And yeah, it was the best movie I've seen in ages. Like, and that's full visual effects. That whole movie is just CGI through the whole thing, but it was really done well. And
you're a big Avatar man as well.
I love
that. You creamed all over Avatar.
I love Avatar. I reckon that still holds up well. I haven't seen it recently though.
Wow, you're shit. We was going to go see Alita together. Wow. Hey, Bob, you know your friends are, don't you? Fucking hell.
I don't get to go, like, you know, sneak out much because I've been so busy with work and kids are full on. So I just took it. I was like, all right, I'm going. I'll just go watch it real quick.
Was it any good?
It was amazing, yeah.
Was it actually a good film? Or
really good movie. Story, everything was solid. Like, that was the best part. It wasn't just visually good looking. It was
guess what? Bob and I are going on the weekend and you're not fucking invited.
See you later.
No, it'd be good to know what you think. I want to know what you think, so I reckon you'll like it.
Did you, what, is it in 3D or like?
Nah, standard. I just saw it regularly, yeah.
I think that's what Avatar, Avatar was kind of one of the first big showcase 3D movies, wasn't it? Like there were other releases before it, I think, but that was the one that like most people went and saw.
Kind of blew everyone away. That's just look at it. That's how it made that much money. I mean, but that was kind of like the tip of the iceberg before we went down kind of that roller coaster of kind of everything CG, everybody's utilizing like performance capture and all this stuff. And now that's the only thing that kind of worries me about the Avatar sequels. Like, I have faith in James Cameron, and he's a very innovative filmmaker, and he designs all new technology and stuff. And like, that was something special when they came out, and it made so much money. So I'm just like, but we've seen it all, like the last 10 or 15 years or however long it's fucking been since Avatar came out. But, you know, it's going to have to be something special to draw even close to that amount of people, like, in again.
I'm surprised it's taken him so long. It's actually been 10 years now.
Well, he's shooting, 3 at the same time, so...
Yeah, hopefully they...
Don't worry, you're going to get enough Avatar soon, so...
The dude does a good sequel when it's not his sequel. But it'd be interesting to see what he's going to do with his own thing that's a sequel. It's just going to be repainting by numbers or...
Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah.
Just hanging out for True Lies 2. We should wrap it up.
Yeah.
We should.
Patrick Brown, what would you give Terminator Genisys out of 5?
Oh, that's hard. Probably 2 out of 5.
About 1, I suppose.
I give it a 2.
Maybe 2. Yeah, I'm harsh. Maybe 2.
I'll give it a 2.
I'll give it 2.
And I'll give a leader. I don't know what to give a leader because I would get invited to go watch it. So.
Not Terminator 2. Transformers 2. That would be a fucking half a star for me. I fucking hate it. And so I didn't hate this movie like I hated that fucking.
Did you like this more than Venom?
No.
You like Venom more?
I like Venom more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up. That's the end of the show. Fucking, let's see. I'm going to bed. See you next week, everyone. Bye.
Hey. Sorry, Patty.